So here are the rules. I have my rules. I've written them out. So rule number 1, I have 1 hour to complete a design. Rule number 2, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a bubble diagram. A bubble diagram is going to be a series of circles where everything will potentially land. But, things will move. So hopefully you guys will be able to understand what I'm about to draw. But I also have a couple ideas. So we already know we need 3 bedrooms based off the parameters. And it's about 2,000 square feet, right? So that's a good rule of thumb, but you don't necessarily need to start exactly where the bedroom is. You don't need, you want to think about how you're approaching your house. So it's a suburb lot. So we already know typically suburb lots are rectangle. So we want to approach into the site. So, and then we already know that it has typical setbacks. So we're just gonna make a rectangle here. But for bubble diagram, it doesn't have to be as structured, but I just like to at least have some boundaries situated. So I know that, if they like to have guests come over or flexibility, for a garage, you probably want more, probably have 2 or 3 car garage. So we're going to shoot for a 3 car garage, but typically it's going to be a 2 car garage. So we're going to have the car, 2 to 3 car garage. And then because they like to have family and guests overnight, you probably want to keep that separate from the main house. That way, if over time, if they decide to rent out a room, they can. It's not like nestled in the back of the house. So we're going to keep the 3rd bedroom closer to the front, just because it has that flexibility to change over time. So we're going to bring that bedroom, the guest, we called it the 3rd bed. And then we're going to have the entry. And then, they like natural light. They like natural ventilation and air. So that kind of tells me that there should be some type of courtyard. Granted, the site orientation I do not have, but it does play a key role where the sun rises and where the sun sets and where the sun is sitting, the orientation. So I do not have that, but we're just going to go on the assumption. So we're going to put a courtyard somewhat in the middle. And then that's also where the different family activity break off from. So we're going to also have the dining, the great room, the kitchen. So usually across from the courtyard, I like to have the kitchen. And then you have the dining. And then across the dining, you usually have some type of great room, family room, something where all the activity takes place. And then also if you want to have indoor-outdoor activities, you can easily go between the family room to the courtyard. And then and I'm also seeing like this nice hallway with atriums, not atrium, but archway. So there's definitely some type of circulation hall happening. And then now the other 2 bedrooms, I definitely want to give the 2 bedroom away from the other main activities. So the way if it gets rowdy, because they do have a young child. So usually when you have a young child, you typically want them in the back of the house to protect from intruders or when they get older, not sneaking out of the house. So there's definitely something we want to cover. So we're gonna put the bedroom number 2, And then off the branch of that, we have the master suite. The master suite, I like to usually take a wing or like make it an extension of the home. So we're going to make this pretty large. But it's really 2 programs into one. So it's like you have the bedroom, the owner's suite. And then in that same bubble, you have the owner bath, and of course, you have also somewhere around here the closet, and then of course the closet will also be part of the bedroom. Let's see, and let's see if I'm missing anything else. Probably some type of entertainment, maybe a pool. Or not pool room, but we also want some flexibility on home office because someone is remote, and then it also could be a gym, so changing over time. And then let's see. Then the next thing we want to have is an outdoor area, outdoor kitchen, outdoor patio. I can see they do like to entertain. They like to be in the greenery, maybe a nature walk or a garden. So we probably put like a garden nature walk. Nature path. Something that kind of goes around. And then let's see, what else? I think that should do it. So we got the entry, and then we have like the driveway. You could probably see some steps going up. And then this is the quote unquote setback. And then we also have a step back here. What else? Now let's think more about circulation. I would just want to quickly cover that. So we have I call it the main artery, which is the main hallway. Everything branches off. It's right in the center, right? So the guests, you enter from the entry. You can the main circulation. You can get to the garage. You can get to the kitchen. You can also get to the dining. You can also get to the great room, of course, to the courtyard. But from the dining area, I think you want to somehow be able to get to the bedroom and to the owner's suite. And then from the pool room, or home office, I think from the entry, you can get to the guest room. Then the home office is also coming off the main corridor, and then also probably a double door to the courtyard and a double door from the great room to the courtyard. It's just nice, all double doors. I can see that, like just glass. And then we would probably have like a pathway from the courtyard to the outdoor kitchen. We'll connect the back to the front, and then probably have some trees around here for privacy. I can see that. And then put some privacy trees along here, but of course we want to have a step back. I think that should do it. So I think that kind of gives me like a rectangle elongated home. Let's move on to phase 2. How are we doing on time? We're doing good. We'll pause. Move on to the next phase.